So today we've got another episode, and today we're joined by the lovely Greg. Hello, Greg.
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for being with us. Yes, and welcome to the Healing Room. And this is
Kemi.
And I'm Lynn Scott.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to it.
So, Kemi, do you want to
start? Let's start. So, Greg, just tell us what brought you to having coaching and therapy.
If I'm being honest, what brought me to therapy? So I had therapy. I've had therapy twice before in the NHS, and it was okay, but I felt like it helped at the time. 'Cause I had it on two separate occasions. It helped at the time, you go to the sessions feeling all right, feeling good. You leave feeling good, but then long term, I don't think it was that great.
Yeah.
Especially in hindsight now that I'm going through coaching now. Only reason because number one, my sessions are only half an hour. There's only so much you can get through in half an hour. There's only so much you can unpack in half an hour after doing an introduction and tasks for the week. And also I felt like my therapist at the time, I couldn't really relate to them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't black like myself. So I just felt like speaking with them, I just felt like I couldn't be as real, as honest, as open as I could be because they wouldn't.
You feel like a cultural disconnection.
100%. I think that's the best. I think that's the better way to say it. I felt there was a big cultural disconnection between myself and the therapist. So it limited what I actually felt comfortable saying.
Yeah.
And I felt like I didn't really open up, or just everything was very surface level. Number one. Number two, I found my therapist quite patronizing.
Oh dear.
Why?
I don't know. It was just really it was very I'm the type of person, I don't like people feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
It was very much that's really sad.
It must be really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really like that. So then it got to a point. So after I had my second set of sessions, it got to a point where it's just I would say I really hit rock bottom, and I was just and I got to a point where I was like, something has to give.
Yeah. And
then I remember I was recommended, Lynn, I was recommended you by a friend of mine. I just thought, you know what, it took me ages I remember I had your number, and it took me months to actually hit you up. And when I did it, we're going through the sessions ever since, and I haven't looked back. And it's been amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing, yeah.
We do understand the whole, going to a therapist that you have no rapport with. Sometimes it's not necessarily just about colour or culture.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just, as you've said, you found that person quite patronising.
Yeah.
So the rapport wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to say anything about NHS counsellors because, I know that's not what you're saying. But
I've been an NHS counsellor.
Exactly. I just want to say to everyone that it's not about the NHS counsellor. It more is about about the rapport that you build up with someone and stuff and that. But I do understand the whole blackness in the fact that culturally we know when we say, boy, we got beaten when we was young, it don't mean that we was tied up on the tree and beaten. But to another person who doesn't understand that, they're like, oh my God, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
What you've gone through. Our beating was real, which was most of us had the slap or something thrown at us or some kind of instrument used.
Yeah, cane,
cane and boof, 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 which again I will say was used in the school that I went to. I went to a Roman Catholic school, and we used to be caned. So, and that was back in the day. We won't talk about how much back in the day, like my friend here, Kemi, likes to remind me about being OG. But so back in the day, caning was normal. But of course, with the changes and stuff, we don't do that kind of thing. But I have a great understanding of that. So I'd like to ask you, so that everyone knows, can you say what you now do, who you are? A bit about who you are, Greg.
Okay, so I work in the music industry. I work in international marketing for Warner Music UK. So a DJ as well. So music marketing, music business. That's pretty much my thing.
It's fantastic. And the reason why I asked you this, because I want people to know out there that coaching isn't for people who are down and out. Coaching is for the everyday man. The man who is and woman. The person who's out there who is maybe sweeps the street, to the person who's a CEO of a company and stuff, because coaching is needed for everyone. Everyone needs someone to speak to from a non-judgmental space.
Why do you think people kind of shy away, and probably especially men, from therapy or coaching?
Do you know what it is? I think there's a lot of misconception about what therapy or coaching actually entails. I think a lot of people think that, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's only for people that, you know, are crazy depressed or in a super, super low situation, or even I think it's that, and I think it's even like the fear of just being open. Like, you have to have a level of vulnerability and be willing to be vulnerable, which some people, that might be a lot for them. Yeah. But then what I felt, even for me, like that was definitely one thing that I was worried about initially, because on the vibe of like, oh, like, you know, what if I can't be helped? What if you get all these thoughts that run through your head, and then you do it. So that through my experience, you know, having coaching, you realize that it's not that, and it's literally just like a conversation between you and your between you and your therapist. And sometimes, and it doesn't always have to be like really like depressing. Sometimes it could be like, I don't know, maybe little things that you just need a bit of clarity on, or an external point of view. It doesn't have to be. I think like society has made therapy seem like it's just big crazy thing that, you know, oh, if you get therapy or if you go through like mental health, maybe you're crazy. It's just definitely not that at all.
That goes back to that whole saying of, you know, people look on a therapist as, oh, you know, like the average person I speak to, oh, I don't need therapy.
Yeah.
Everyone always says that.
They're like, but when you sort of break it down, it's almost like having a diary that you write in, but it answers back.
Yeah.
And it makes you stop and self-reflect. And it's not that you're lying on this couch and this person's psychoanalyzing. It's more about being able to speak your own truth. Is that what you would find?
Yeah, 100%. And I think the main thing is just getting an external, non-judgmental point of view. Because, you know, like I know for me, I've had, you know, going through my therapy sessions, I've had so many like light bulb moments where it's like, you know, oh my gosh, I didn't see that from that perspective. I didn't realize that was the case. And then I've had a lot of people say stuff like, oh, like, I've got my friends to talk to and stuff like that. I've got people to talk. And I think that's great, but at the same time, like, I don't want to put that burden on my friends.
And also,
like
the friend is there to stroke your ego.
Yeah.
You tend to, if I go to my friend with an issue, it might be like, yeah, really, they did that. You shouldn't, like, instead of saying, no, Kemi, that's wrong. Some would say that, but giving you that insight, because even yesterday I was talking to my friend about something, and she said, oh, I want to tell the guy this, or A, B, and C. And I said, no, what do you really want to tell him? She said, we're not having a therapy session right now. I said, no, but I'm asking, what do you really want to say? Because you're operating out of a place of fear. So you're not saying what you really want to say. You're acting out in terms of rejecting them before they reject you. But I'm like, what do you really want to say? So sometimes your friends won't check you. Yeah,
but don't you also it goes deeper. You select the friend who's
wanna
going
say
to
something.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I know the ones who would tell me about myself, the ones who would cheerlead me
So
on.
there's certain parts of your life that you have a certain friend that you will share a certain section with, and another friend that you share another section with, and you select the friend so that you can have an agreement. But as you've just saying that you didn't, when going to coaching, you found that it was coming from an unbiased.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it was nice and it was interesting to, like I said, hear perspectives that I didn't think about. And not have my ego stroked. Like, if I'm doing something wrong or the way I'm thinking is wrong, it would be like, no, that's not right. You'd be better off doing this, that, and the other. So I think that was definitely very, very helpful and very useful.
Oh, that's lovely.
I also think like the power of like therapy is someone gives you the why behind what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes you'd be like, I just do that.
Yeah.
But no, why? When you actually stop, and the first thing I always find someone like, but why did you do that? I'd be like, I don't know. But that was my first go-to answer, because I didn't stop to think when I was in therapy to be, why did you do that? So then my first reaction is saying, I don't know, I just did it. But it gives you that why behind that, and I love the haha moments. So I'll be like, wow, oh my, that connects to that, that connects, that makes sense. It highlights your patterns, and even the way you do things with yourself and your limiting beliefs.
100%.
Yeah. So have you found that people around you have found that you've changed?
Yeah. Definitely. I think I'm a lot more. I think for me before, I used to procrastinate a lot, and I used to just overthink things a lot. Where it's like there'll be something I want to do, instead of just doing it, I'll just think of all the reasons why I shouldn't do, or I'll question myself. But do I describe it? I feel like I've developed this effort mentality where it's just like I'm just gonna do it.
Good.
Like
I love
just
that.
do it. Like just and whatever happens. Obviously, in certain situations, obviously. But
that's for the buzz we get
out
of doing what we do, because that's how we want to hear our clients speak.
I've just done this.
Just like that, I've just done it. And you're living, you're not existing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate for therapy. Like I've recommended, I've referred 5 people. I think I just I'm going therapy.
Don't you find when you have a break as well? Because I've had a break for a little bit. It's like, no, I need to see my therapist.
Yeah,
It's like, no, I need that offload to work it out.
100%. I think that's not something I feel ashamed about as well. I'm just
But if you're nobody, if you're somebody, you need a therapist, as we say. In America, you're nobody if you don't have a coach.
My therapist.
And it's lovely that in London now or England, coaching is now becoming a norm. It's like you get paid and you pay your mortgage or your rent, and you pay your gas and your electricity, but you pay yourself. Paying yourself means I need my coach. I need that person to speak to say, look, I don't want to keep judging myself. I don't want to be putting myself down and letting core negative beliefs come in. But I need that person to speak to.
100%.
It's like a mirror holding up to you.
Yeah.
So I must admit, I do say that I'm very, very proud of you. Because I hope you don't mind me sharing, but when this gorgeous Greg came to me.
Stop it.
But it's true. I'm just saying, as it is, that when he came, there were certain things that, he had a few things that he wanted to achieve. And I'd like to say that if there were 5 things he wanted to achieve, and this is just a year ago, he's like, wow, he's just blown. He's blown me away with setting his intentions, working out his desires, and being the best version of himself.
Beautiful.
So that's been it's very rewarding for when we do our job. So it would be nice if you want to share that, just for the fact that you stopped, you became still, you worked on what you wanted to do and the things that you wanted to achieve. If you could tell us how you feel about that, about your progress from having coaching to now.
Yeah, I feel great about it. I feel like I had a lot of aha moments. It opened my eyes to a lot of things about myself, or the way I would do things previously that I didn't think about. I think the main thing was gratitude. That's definitely something that definitely helped, because it's just something I used to complain a lot. I would tell you to complain a lot about certain things, or let's say I'm in a situation that I'm not happy with, or something's happened. Instead of I always looked at the glass half empty instead of the glass half full approach. And then I found that just by constantly looking at the positive side of things and just being grateful, it kind of how do I describe it? It just generally changed my approach to situations, so I wouldn't get so stressed about certain things. So, maybe certain obstacles will come my way and I'll kind of get over it a bit quicker, because I'll look at the positive side of things. And then, that was the main thing. And I just think it just made me just generally a calmer person, and just, I feel like now I know better how to deal with situations, or when things don't 100% go my way, I kind of know better how to deal with it. So that's just at the basic level. Obviously there's a lot more, and just in general, I feel like I've just grown immensely as a person, and just become a lot more confident in myself, my ability, what I can offer the world, and
It's It's lovely to hear.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So I think people just think sometimes, can anything change? You go to therapy, but it's like it unlocks something in you.
Mm-hmm.
So all the resources we have within ourselves, and a therapist, a coach, a mentor, they're just there to help tweak those, turn those switches on.
Yeah.
And make you see yourself like for what you see there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't see ourselves how other people see us. You don't see the amazing things that are about you. Or I always say like it's like a diamond being in dirt.
It is.
And sometimes you wouldn't know that the diamond's inside there.
Yeah.
You just see the dirt.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes we have to peel back that dirt and to expose that diamond, that beauty that lies within us all.
It's funny, earlier we were talking about that kind of thing where I was, I'm not sure if we spoke about it before in one of our podcasts with another guest, but when I was saying the fact of dropping the plate, that we're all a beautiful plate when we're born, because coming to the gorgeous milestone that I'm at now, that
So I want to say your age, no,
whatever, coming to that milestone, before that I used to be like, oh, we're all broken. But I've decided, no, we're not broken. We come out and there's this lovely plate, be it from, Habitat, Sainsbury's. And by the way, there are other people that do plates and stuff. But it's almost like we're like this plate, and we decide at this stage to come to coaching that we want to drop the plate because we want to put ourselves back together better. And by putting ourselves back together better, it's by getting gold glue, 22 karat gold glue, like the Japanese art, and so the plate that was £10, by putting it together with that 22 karat gold plate glue, it now costs so much more because you're put back together so much more beautiful. And I think that's what I analyse therapy, and the whole healing process, being the best version of yourself. And being happy. Have you found that this has helped with your relationships with other people as well?
100%. Like, I don't take things to heart as much. I don't overthink about. Like, I think before I always overthinking, which is something I dealt with before. Like, maybe someone would do something or say something. I just like, did he mean that? And then I just take things as it goes and just, just a lot more
assumptions.
Yeah, not make assumptions and just genuinely a lot more positive. So I feel like people feed off that positive energy, and definitely helped.
And do you feel that that's then also helped you to get to being where you are now in the music industry?
Yeah, 100%. Because I think like working in music is a very people based. It's like you're dealing with people, you're dealing with egos, you're dealing with, it's a very people based industry. So if you know how to navigate that, how do I phrase it? It's a very people based industry. So I feel like the one thing that sticks out is that if you're just a nice person, if you're good to people, good energy, it tends to help you in you progress, because people always remember that guy that was just nice, or that person that was just really positive, even in the midst of like a bad situation. Yeah. So I think it's definitely helped. Like the whole just giving out positive energy, and like people really do feed off that.
That's right.
Especially like, in the music business or the creative industry, where, there are a lot of egos, a lot of nasty people who, just will do anything, sharks, I would say, to do anything to get what they want. Yeah. So those nice people, those, clean, good-hearted, good energy people, that
applies to so many industries as well, music industry, corporate industry. There you will find all kinds of people in these environments who will climb over it, like crabs in a barrel, really.
Yeah,
climb 100%. All over to get to where they want. So now you find that it's easier for you now to discern who is who, and do you find that it's giving you that little bit more an ease?
Yeah, but I try not to focus too much on other people.
Good.
I try to focus and make sure that I'm putting out good energy and I'm doing my bit, and I'm very conscious about that, and not, even as I progress and as I, progress in my career, I've always being very conscious about, just still, holding a level of integrity and just not being nasty to people, because I think it doesn't just apply to music. In a lot of industries, people progress and get high and they start thinking that they're better than other people.
Yeah.
And, I've always been very conscious about not being that person.
Yeah.
Because, I remember where I started, I remember where I came from, and I just don't want to be a horrible person. Even the other day, I told my friend, I said, if I ever start moving Hollywood, if I ever start, moving mad, please check me, because that's not the energy.
Don't worry, we will.
Exactly, because that's not.
Come back to
exactly.
No, Greg. Hello.
Because that's not the energy that I want to put out there. Not at all.
The energy we put out is what comes back.
Exactly.
You put out the good will flow your way.
Exactly.
So what tips, we're coming to the end, but tips and tools would you say, after you get a counsellor or a therapist or coach, that's really helped you? So whether it be your morning practice, the things that's changed. You talked a bit about the whole gratitude. What other kind of tips or tools could you give to people
I'd say definitely number one, get gratitude. Also, just being open to information and open to what some people what you're being told. So for example, like let's say let's say you're in a session and your therapist is like, okay, why don't you try meditating? Instead of going, but I tried, it doesn't work, and just like shutting it down.
Yeah.
Like actually giving it a chance.
Being open.
Yeah, being open to anything. Open. Yeah. Definitely say that. And just generally just try and be positive and just know that there is a light in the tunnel, and like you're not like one thing I learned as well is that like I'm not the only person.
That's right.
That's going through this.
Yes.
I remember my first session. The main thing that stood out is like I'm saying how I feel, and then you're breaking it down to me, and I'm like, oh snap! Like that's exactly how I feel. Like I thought it was just me that felt that.
Yeah.
So then, just remember that you're not the only person. You're not the only person that's going through, that's feeling it down. You're not alone. Exactly. So yeah, but the main thing I definitely say, just be open. Just be open and
And finding that there's strength in being vulnerable. Instead of vulnerability being a weakness, it's actually a strength.
100%.
To be able to be open takes so much more than
100%. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Do you want to say it now?
Yeah,
subscribe,
you say it.
comment, like, and your socials, Greg.
Okay, so on Instagram it's Gregory O, but it's spelled GREGXRY_O. So that's me everywhere.
Okay.
Lovely.
But thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Again,
My pleasure.
subscribe, share,
My pleasure.
make your comments, and thank you so much, Greg. I really, it's again an honour to have you here.
My pleasure.
And again, I'm
Thank
so
you for
proud
having
of
me.
you. And
Thank you.
well done. Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was bullied when I was quite young, and I think that's also been a part of it. Knowing, like being a bit more aware and having more self-awareness of how I'm showing up in my friendships, in my relationship. My fitness, like working out, going to the gym has always been very much important to me. And I kind of see like therapy and coaching as like gym for the mind, and I think people should be working on this just as much as they're working in other areas of their life as well in order to have that balance. And